Hi guys. It is Wednesday, January 1st, 2025. Happy New Year. And I'm here to do a WIP parade. I bought an external camera for my computer and I don't know how to use it. Like, the thing that's tripping me up is that it mirror images everything and I'm not used to that. So it's going to drive me crazy. And I haven't been able to figure out how to turn it off so that it doesn't mirror image everything. So there's probably going to be a lot of oops, it doesn't go this way, it goes that way. So just be patient with me. It's going to drive me crazy. But the laptop that I've been using, I think is kind of on its way out. And so I'm using one that my friend gave me, which is kind of lower end and the camera's not very good. So I bought a better camera for it, but this mirror image feature is going to drive me crazy. Anyway, I'm here to do my WIP parade. Um, I have all my WIPs right here, and um, they're in two stacks. The first stack is everything that I had going as of January 1st, 2012, and those are in alphabetical order. And then everything that I've started after that, those are in chronological order. So those are the two stacks, and I'm going to go through them, and I'll tell you if I've stitched on them, or if I plan to stitch on them this coming year. And I'm going to try to remember to show you the project bags. I'm not always very good about that, but I'll do it for a while and then I'll forget. So I'm going to try to remember to show you the project bags. And I'll try to remember to tell you what the fabric is. A lot of them are honestly on white or kit fabric or whatever. But so here we go. We're going to start with the older stuff. And the first one is in this patriotic bag that I got from Nell at Little Yellow House Crafts. And she has disappeared into motherhood and being the wife of a resident doctor. And I hope she's okay. So this first one is Bagatelle by Long Dog Samplers. Is it going to focus? I don't know. But there it is. Bagatelle. And this has I don't want to unfold this whole thing, so that's what I have done on it. It has all of 200 stitches. If I turn it, oh, there. You can see there's just a little tiny bit over the fold, but it's got all of 200 stitches in it, and I struggle with this piece. I'm not sure what's going to happen to this piece. So for right now, it's in timeout. It hasn't been worked on. Clearly, it's got 200 stitches. I think I put a few stitches on it at the end of 2020 to make sure it had 200 for no new starts. But I started it in 2004 and it hasn't been worked on since then. Other than just making sure it had enough to get into no new starts. This one, I don't know what's going to happen to this one either. In fact, I took this one off of my WIP list. I haven't UFO'd it, but maybe it'll make its way back onto my WIP list. I don't know. This is a Disney kit. This is Eeyore. And I was going to stitch this for a friend kind of as a joke, but I don't think she thought it was very funny. And so she doesn't care, and I kind of don't care. So I don't know if I'm going to do this one. And I just have a little teeny tiny start on it. So I don't know what's gonna happen to this one either. Okay, this one is in this. Eeyore is just in a little plastic food storage container. Um, this one is in this bird bag by parakeet bag by Garant Totten Bags. I think this one actually does have a picture in it. This is The Enchanter by Teresa Winsler. This has not gotten worked on. I think when I went back in my records, I worked on it in 2007. But there's where I am on it. I started in the center and I gridded my way down to the corner. And so that's where I am on it. My Teresa Winslers are kind of in a line, and this is at the end of the line. So it's probably still going to be waiting for a while. And I don't know if it's going to get done. But that's Enchanter by Teresa Winsler. This is in this beautiful hummingbird bag by Stitch and Button. I'll tell you, almost all of my bags are either Stitch and Button or Garant Totten. Almost all of them. Is there a picture in here? I don't know if there is or not. Well, I'm going to show you on my phone, because I don't know if there's a picture. This is Genie's Blue Blast by The Silver Lining, Mark Sestad. This is one that I would like to try to pull out this year. I'm not going to do a ton on it, but I would like to try to pull it out and maybe do 500 or 1,000 stitches on it. I have some other things. Why is it dirty? I have some other things that I would like to finish, and this is one of the things that I would like to pull in. So there is that. That's where I am on it. It hasn't been worked on in many, many years. But there's Genie. But I would like to get back to this. This is 1/1. This is 28 count. It's 1/1. And you have to do the Silver Lining. You have to do the 1/1. I was talking to Vic about it, and she's like, well, why are you doing it 1/1? I'm like, you have to, because if you don't, they come out freakishly large. Like, to make it like a normal size, you have to do them 1/1. So that's Genie. This one is in this bird bag by Stitch and Button. Is there a picture in here? No. This is come on, focus. This is Kimono by Donna Gallagher. This is an old chart. I had to hunt eBay for this chart. Um, this is going to be my work project this year when I go back to work next week. I started this I think in 2011 or 2012. I think in 2011. And so there's where I am on her. I'm just at the bottom of the kimono. Um, so this is going to be my work project. So if you remember this year, the fairy was my work project between May and November. And I did, well, y'all may not know that because I've been really bad about uploading my videos. But I did, I think I did about 2,000, close to 2,000 stitches on it. Going into the office twice a week most of the time. So, listen, I don't know if 2,000 stitches is going to finish this, but we'll see. I'm gonna take it to work and we'll work on it and see how far we get. And at some point, I'll probably be like, okay, I can finish this now, and I'll bring it home. But this is going to be my work project for at least a good part of the year. This is this is a garage bag, and I work on, I show this a lot. I think I show this every month in 2023. This is my dogs. And this is where I am on it. I got the black dog done, and I'm working on the yellow dog. And there's still the golden retriever over here on the left. So there's where my dogs are. This is my goal for this year. This got about 600 stitches this year, not quite 600 stitches. I had wanted to try to put 5,000 in it. I clearly didn't make it. But that's going to be my goal for 2025 is to put 5,000 in this. So this will definitely be on the list for 2025. This is another bag that I got from Stitch and Button. Butterfly bag. Oh, the dogs. The dogs are my oldest WIP. I started the dogs in 1996. That's my oldest WIP. This is Savannah's Curtsy by Mirabilia. And I started this, I think, like in 2006. I worked on this in 2023. I think I put about 3,600 stitches in it in 2023. And then this year in 2024, she only got like 200 stitches. She didn't hardly get any attention in 2024. But that's where she is. Her in her big white dress. But this is another one. My goal for 2025 is to put 5,000 stitches in her. Which is not going to finish her. But I'm hoping, you can't hardly see her the white in her dress, but there's a bunch of white there. I'm hoping if I get 5,000 in her this year, maybe I can finish her next year. And the same with the dogs. Um, I'm hoping if I get a good chunk in, I can set both of those up to be finished next year. This is a bag that I got from Garon Totten Bags. This is an old EGA project. This is an old EGA project by a frequent. I don't like this camera. By a frequent teacher that we used to have, Margaret Bendig. And what it is there's 22 of those flowers. There's 11 rows of 2 flowers, and there's instructions. You stitch the outside, and then there's instructions on how to do the inside. And it's like a little sewing kit. It's like a little kit to put your scissors in and your needles, and there's instructions on how to finish it. This always starts out the year as my work project, and it always gets bumped. So this is where I am on it. So it was my work project for a little while, I think in 2020 or 2019, back when I was working in the office full time. But it always gets bumped. So last year I had set the goal to do like 1 flower motif a month, 1 flower and 1 swirl, and I didn't do it. Maybe I'll set that goal again this year. I don't know. I like the project, but it doesn't hold my interest. And I don't know. There's a big project in here. This is from Garon. This is the book bag from Garon. I hope there's a picture in here. Is there a picture in here? There may or may not be. There's a lot of crap in here. There is not. Alright. So, this is The Storyteller by Teresa Winsler. And this I worked on in 2012 during the London Olympics. I wanted to learn to park, and so this is the piece that I decided I'm going to learn to park on. And for this piece, parking was fantastic. I think I did about 400 stitches or 500 stitches in the wing. And the confetti in that wing is painful. And parking was fantastic. Like, it's still slow going between the confetti and the fractionals and the blends. But it made it a lot less painful. So there's where I am on Storyteller. This one may come out later in the year. This is another one that I would like to bring out later this year and put some stitches in. I started this in 2003, I think. The Teresa Winsler bulletin board back in the day was having a big stitch along, and so I think I started this in 2003 with the stitch along, or 2002. This is another Garon bag. The Disney castles. And this has another Teresa Winsler in it. Thankfully, this one has a picture. This is Stroke of Midnight by Teresa Winsler. I put 100 stitches in this, I think in 2023. I needed it for a category, and so I put 100 stitches in it. But I started this, I think, in 2000 or 2001 or 2002, and that's all I've done on it. It's just the planter right there. So this is my favorite Teresa Winsler, and I would like to get back to this one. But it's going to have a little bit of a wait too, because I think Storyteller's going to be in front of it. And maybe Trade Winds. It just, Teresa Winslers take a lot of brain. And sometimes I just don't have the energy to give it that much brain. That's why I only stitch on one at a time. Alright, so this is in this Snoopy bag that I got from Vic at Stitch and Button. Does this have a picture? It does not. Or maybe this is it. Is this the picture? No. This is The Kiss by Mirabilia. This was the first Mirabilia that I started, and I think I started it in 2000, and I have not finished it. I think I haven't worked on it since 2003. This will be in line after Savannah, but there's where I am on it. So this hasn't been worked on in a long time, and it's probably not going to get worked on this year either. Savannah's in line first. Okay. This is another bag that I got from Garan Totten. And this bag might be the most perfect match of any project to any bag that I have. So this is Trade Winds by Teresa Winsler. I worked on this in 2021, maybe. Whatever year it was that Semi-Sane Stitchers was doing Alphabet or Alphabet Soup. They were doing one of those alphabet games, and I picked this one, and I did some of the letters on it, and then I discovered a problem and multiple problems, and I kind of fell off of the letters, and so this is where this one is. And this is why this one might get put in ahead of Stroke at Midnight, because it's so much further along. But I discovered the mermaid block is 2 stitches too short, which isn't really a problem. I can fix that, but there's also a mistake somewhere in the block, in the bottom of her tail somewhere, and so that's how I was stitching on it, and then I fell off of the letters, and I'm going to have to figure out the mermaid. So this has kind of been in timeout. Okay. This is the last of my pre-2012 projects. And this is definitely a focus for next year. This year, I guess now. This isn't really showing these very well, is it? I think I like the other camera better. This is Under the Evergreen by Teresa Winsler. And that's where she is. And this is going to be my split into 12 next year. So I divided it down the center, and then there's 28 rows by the width of the page in each section. And so I'm just going to do one section a month, back stitch and or cross stitch. Well, all the sections need back stitch. Some of them need cross stitch. So my goal is to finish this next year in December. So there's Under the Evergreen. And it is it lives in this cardinal bag by Garan. So I made a list, and I've talked about this on here before. I made a list on January 1st, 2012 of everything that I had going as of that date. And on that date, I had 45-ish projects on the list. Might have been 47, but it was somewhere in the vicinity of 45 projects on that list. And a few of them got retired or UFO'd or adopted out. I think there's 5 or 6 that got retired or adopted out or UFO'd or whatever. But I've been whittling away at the rest of the list. And I try to knock off 1 or 2 of them every year. In 2024, I knocked off 2 of them. I knocked off and I knocked off Thine is the Trick and the Treat. And you'll see those in I'm going to do another video with my wrap up and my plans. You'll see those in there. But it's getting harder and harder to knock pieces off the list because, as you just saw, 5 of those pieces on the list are Teresa Wentzler's. 2 are Mirabilia's. 1 is Jeannie's Blue Vase, which is 1/1. So I'm getting down to the larger, more difficult projects. So it's becoming more difficult to knock projects off the list. I still have a few. I can finish Kimono. I'm working towards finishing the dogs, working towards finishing Savannah. But I'm kind of at that point where there's just mostly large, difficult projects left. And they're all at the beginning. Like you saw, none of them were terribly far along except Under the Evergreen. So, and the dogs. But, so it's yeah, that list is becoming a challenge, but I'm chipping away at it. I think I'm down to 13 or 14. I think I deleted Thine is the Trick and the Treat, so I think I'm down to 14. All right. So, next. These are the projects that I've started since January 1st, 2012 and haven't finished yet. Those were in alphabetical order. These are in chronological order. So the oldest one is at the top. And the oldest one, I'm going to try to remember to tell you when I started it. I know I kind of told you on some and not on others on the first set. But this is His Eyes on the Sparrow. Is that going to focus? It's not focusing. This is His Eyes on the Sparrow by Heartstring Samplery. And I started this on Christmas Day of 2015. I believe 2014 and 2015. The Sampler World group was doing a stitch along. I don't know if they still do this. I started thinking interest in it kind of waned. I don't know if they still do it. But the Sampler World group used to do a stitch along every year of a large sampler and a small sampler. And this was their large sampler for, I think, 2015 or 2014. This was their large sampler. And this has been a struggle bus piece for me um, because I can't see the fabric. The magnifier will fix that. The magnifier has fixed so many of my struggle bus problems. Um, but this is on Doubloon by Picture This Plus, and um, that's how far I am on it. I've just got a few of the little motifs there in the center, and that's all I've done. This was also supposed to be a piece this year in 2024 that I did a couple of motifs on every month, and I didn't touch it. And I don't. Maybe I'll pick it up in 2025. I don't know. I've already sort of got my plate pretty full for 2025, so I don't know that it's gonna get any attention. But it's just in this plain mesh bag that I think I got from the Container Store. Yeah, I got it from the Container Store. So I don't know if it's gonna come out. I didn't make a goal for it this year because I didn't do it last year, and my plate's already kind of full. So this is also a bag. I think it's also from the Container Store. And this is a Hade. So I finished one of my Hades in 2024, and so this is going to be the next one. This is Story Keep Flower Bride by Linda So, charted by Heaven and Earth. It was a freebie Story Keep back in the day. It's no longer available. I think the full design is available if you want the large picture, but I think the Story Keep is retired. I know the Story Keep is retired. I worked on this a little bit in 2018 maybe, or 20 something, and it's just on 28 count fabric. And there's where I am on it. So I do want to work on this year. I don't know that I'm going to do a ton on it, but I do want to put some stitches on it this year. I'm on a team for Stitch to the Moon and Full Coverage Fanatics, and full coverage is not my go-to. Like, I have some. It's not my favorite thing. I do some, so this is one of the things that I can use to contribute to that team. And so I am going to try to make some progress on this. This next one lives in this little Paris bag by Garan. I think it's Paris. And this was my birthday start, I think in 2020. This is, actually it wasn't my birthday start. I think I just started it like in April of 2020. This is Three Things Sampler by Moira Blackburn. And I'm sorry that these are not focusing better. I do not have... Oh, I started Flower Bride, I think in 2014. Or 2015. And it was an old stitching group on Facebook that doesn't exist anymore that was doing like a full coverage start along. And I had never done a Hade. And I was like, let me pick a small one. And let me pick a free one because I don't know if I'm going to like it. I don't know if I'm going to finish it. So that's how I picked Flower Bride. And then all of my WIPs from 16, 17, I believe 16, 17, 18, 19. I don't think I have any WIPs left from any of those. I thought I had one from 17. I thought I had a WIP left from 17. I don't know. I thought I had something left from 17. But I guess not. So this is Three Things Sampler by Moira Blackburn. I call it my tablecloth because the fabric is humongous. I didn't work on it this year. Um, I've done the first. I've done the first 2 pages. She didn't get any attention in 2024. I do have a goal of her this year to do a page finish. To finish page 3 or page 4. I'm not sure if I'm gonna go across or down, but I would like to work on her. And get another page done. So this is in this dessert bag by Garan. And this is Silver Moon Tea by Mirabilia. And this is another one. This is full coverage. So this is another one that I would like to work on this year for Stitch to the Moon. And so there's where I am on her. She did not get any attention in 2024 either. She did get some in 2023, but not in 2024. So, and she's one that um, she's sort of on the outside edge of my plate. If I focus on her, I might be able to finish her. But she's sort of lower down on the priority list than some other things. So this is, and I started her in 2020. These are my 2020 starts. This is my Manatee bag from Garan. This is also a 2020 start. This is my other Haid. Here she is. This is Dark Water, artwork by Jessica Lane, charted by Haid. And if I need, if I'm really struggling for full coverage stitches, I know where to go. This poor girl only has 1,000 stitches. I know that's all she's got. So if I'm struggling for full coverage stitches, I can always come and do some sky. So I don't know how much attention she's going to get this year, but I think I will try to at least give her some. All right. My Raspberry Bag by Garan. This is When I Want to Finish Next Year. This is Poppy by Nora Corbett. And I did stitch on her this year in 2024. I did 1,700 stitches on her. This was a 2020 start that I think I restarted in 2022. But there she is. And this is when I would like to finish her this year. So this is my lemon bag from Garan. Is there a picture in this one? This is French Kitchen. This was a collaboration between Summer House Stitchworks and Hands On Design. And I started this with Sarah at Our Stitching Kingdom and Sammy at Sammy J Stitches. And I started with this main box here. Sammy started with the Rosemary and Pear, I think, and she finished it. And she finished Strawberries and Mint. And Sarah started with Apple and Sage. And she's still working on hers. And I'm still working on mine. This is where I am on it. This is kind of a problem project for me that I've been ignoring because I made a mistake and I'm not exactly sure how to fudge it. So I've been kind of ignoring it because I don't really know how to fudge the mistake. So that's where I am on that one. I think this over here, this is pretty close to the left side of the pattern. And then it goes all the way over here, of course. But so there's a French Kitchen by Hands On Design and Summer House Stitchworks. This is a fall bag by Garan. This was a 2021, I did no new starts. I didn't make any starts in 2021. So this is a 2022 start that Alma and I started for our birthdays. Alma from Alma's Little Wonders. We started this. Our birthdays are a few days apart. And so we started this together. This is Illuminated Manuscript. And I think this is part 2. These were in the old Cross Stitch and Country Crafts magazines by Barbara Richter. I did not work on this year. I did work on it some in 2023. I did not work on it in 2024. But that's where I am. I've been working on the border. I started with the border. Alma started in the center. So we're kind of in different places. I'm not sure if she's worked on hers. But that's where I am. I don't I don't know if this one's gonna come out this year. Maybe it will. I don't know. This is my my Japanese fountain bag by like my blue willow bag by Stitch and Button, and this is my chatelaine. I started this in October of 2022. EJ and I started together. I started this one, and EJ started. Why don't I have a picture of it? Here it is. I started this one, and EJ started a different one. This is Japanese octagon box. EJ started Alhambra Garden, I think. I also did not work on this in 2024. I did work on it in 2023. And this is where I am. I've done most of the first box. I still have a little bit left to do, but I've done a lot of the first box. And I don't know if this is going to come out this year or not either. This is the called for fabric. I know I haven't been telling you the fabrics like I said I would, but this is the called for ice blue fabric. This is a Halloween bag that I got from Garan. And this is my only Bella Filipina WIP. This is Greta Goldbroom. I did not work on her in 2024. I started her in 2022. We did a Bella Filipina Sal for Vic's birthday. And this is the one that I started. And this is where I am on her. Is this... I think it goes this way. So, that's where I am on her. And I hope to get to her. She's on my WIP Go board for this year. So, I hope to get to her this year. I doubt that I'll finish her, but I'd like to make some progress on her. This is an Easter bag that I got from Garan. Is there a picture in here? No. Ugh. Alright. So this is Tetelestai by Quaint Rose Needle Arts. This has been a problem project. I have done so much frogging on this, and then I realized the problem was that I hadn't frogged far enough. Like, I was frogging the mistake that I could see, but there was a mistake higher up, and that's why it kept coming out wrong. And I finally got all the frogging. I frogged back to the original mistake, and so there it is. This is 38.65 on, I think this is Wisteria, and I think it's by Mystic Fabric. But that's where I am on it. So I want to finish this one this year. So there's only about, I think there's about 3,500 stitches left. And I'd like to finish this one this year. I did not work, well, I didn't work on it in 2024. I frogged it, but I didn't put any stitches in it. This was my New Year, New Start in 2023. This is the flamingo bag that I got from Vic at Stitch and Button. And this is Bells of Ireland by Nora Corbett. And Vic and I started this together in February of 2023. And we are sort of in a slow race to finish it first. Because neither one of us really work on it very often. She just put 500 stitches on hers. So she's a little bit ahead of me. But we're still pretty... She's a little bit ahead, but we're still pretty close. So that's where I am on her. And I do want to stitch on her this year. I'd like to finish her because I'd like to beat Vic. So she's one of the ones that I would like to finish. Okay. This is in this patriotic bag by Garan. And this is, I started this in September of 2023, I think. This is Tom and House Sampler 1860. This is really bad. This is really bad. This is Tom and House Sampler 1864 by Chessie and Me. And this is a gift for a friend. I did not work on this year, but I don't know if I'm going to finish it in 2025, but I would like to make some good progress on it. If I could finish it, that would be fantastic. But I would like to make some good progress on it. And that's where I am on it. So I got the tree in, I got the house started. I want to work on this year. I'm going to do a plans video, and I'll talk more about my specific plans in the plans video. This is a bag that I got from Stitch and Button. Is there a picture in here? There is. I started this in October of 2023. Right after the war between Hamas and Israel started. So this is Dreidel Dreidel by Ink Circles. I only did 100 stitches on this year. I'm using the called for Blue Lagoon Belsois. And that's where I am on it. I did 100 stitches to fit into a category, I think, in November. But that's all I've done on it this year. I'd like to get this some attention this year. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to get any attention, but I would like to make some progress on it. I doubt that I'll finish it. But oops. We're at almost an hour. This is my crunched up Vic bag. This is a bag that I got from Stitch and Button. I actually had a kitted project in here, and I switched them out because I wanted to put this project in this bag. This was my New Year, New Start for 2024. And this is a bad picture, and my camera's not showing them very well. So, yeah. This is a Female Arts by the Primitive Needle. And it says, uh, a female arts in usefulness, the needle far exceeds the rest. In ornament, there's no device affords adorning half so nice. And I started it, it was my new start. I think I only did 300 stitches in it. I barely worked on it. Um, and we'll talk more specifics in my plans video about what happened in 2024. But there's where I am on it. And this is a Fortnite fabric. No, it's not. Yeah, I think it is a Fortnite fabric actually. With I think it's DMC 838. So so I'm not sure. I'm not sure if this one's gonna come out this year or not. And it's not that I don't like it or that I don't want to stitch it. It's just that I have other things that are bigger priorities. And this one's just, you know, not that high on the priority list. This is this. I think this was the Spring Quaker bag, or the Summer Quaker bag by Garan, when they were doing the Rosewood Manor seasonal Quakers. This is Travel Memories by Dimensions Gold Collection Petites. This is also a gift for a friend. This is at the top of my priority list because it is a gift for a friend. I started this in January of this year. I think I started on January 5th or January 3rd or something. I might have started it on January 1st. But this is where I got to on it. And this is at the top of my priority list. I want to finish this one. This went into Telestai. Are the two that are at the top of my priority list. This one because I want to give it to my friend, and to Telestai because it's a problem and it's not that big. This is a bag from Jenny at Cricklewood Crossing that I won in a raffle at Stitch West in 2021. And this is also full coverage. I could use it for Stitch to the Moon. It's kind of the lowest priority. Well, that and the Mermaid are my lowest priority full coverage, so I don't know how much attention it's going to get. This was sort of a impromptu impulse start. This is Central Park in the Fall by Thomas Kincaid, kitted by Candamar. And this only got, I think, it got about 600 stitches. I did 500 stitches when I started it, and then I did another 100 stitches for a category later on. So that's where that is. Still got a long way to go. But maybe it'll get some attention. For categories or for Stitch to the Moon or something. Alright, so we're almost done here. But alright. So this is my Cherries bag by Vic, Stitch and Button. And this I started with Holly in May. This was a market release. And so Holly and I started it together. And she's way ahead of me. Because I've done like I think I've done 500 stitches and she's done like 4,000 or something. But this is Abalonia's Apple Tree by Artsy Housewife. And yeah, I've only done like 500 stitches on this. Holly's way ahead of me, and I know Holly wants to finish hers this year. But that's where I am on her. And this is another one. I'd like to give it some attention. It's not terribly high on the priority list. I have some other things that I'm going to pay attention to first. But, it's a fun stitch. So. And I'm not racing Holly because I have zero chance of beating Holly. And this is my last project. This was my last new start. This was my birthday start this year. And this was one of those exclusives that I got from the Homespun Needlework group. And it's since been released. You can buy it from Summer House Stitchworks. This is Emily's Bliss by Summer House Stitchworks. And my birthday's in July, and so I started this for my birthday. And so there's where I am on it. And this is also low priority. Like, I might put some stitches in it for a category or something, but I have other things that I need to concentrate more on. So those are my WIPs. I'm going to be back with 2024 wrap-up and 2025 plans, and we'll get into more specifics about my plans and categories and all those kinds of things, and what happened in 2024 and why so many of these didn't get worked on in 2024. We'll get into all of that there. This is just the WIP parade. I'm not going to get into all of that here. So I will film that and put that up. And I will also film a December update. And so I will see you guys very soon. Happy New Year. Happy stitching. Happy 2025. Bye.